Today is a showdown day. Texas brisket versus Kansas City brisket. Two completely different styles, cooked side by side on the same pit. So let's see who wins. Both of these briskets came out of the fridge this morning after sitting overnight with a dry brine so that the salt could really penetrate deep into that meat and start building that flavor. Now, once they came out, I went ahead and dropped in my ThermoWorks RFX wireless meat probe so we can track the internal temps the entire time without ever needing to open up the pit. Next step, we're getting the pit fired up. We've got the 250-gallon offset rolling, running smoky fire, bringing everything up to temperature. And for the start of this cook, we're running the pit super low and smoky at about 225 degrees. Once the fire is lit, we got both briskets on, we got the door shut down, and now it's time to let this 250-gallon offset do what she does best. Cook low and slow and let that smoke work its magic. All right, guys, so our briskets have been on just a little bit over 2 hours. We're gonna get this opened up and we are gonna give them a quick little spritz. Fire's still running good and smoky, exactly what we're looking for the first couple hours. We are just looking to moist up that bark just a little bit, not a ton. We are running a water pan in here as well. This pit moves air extremely fast, so I do like to spritz a little bit every couple hours and keep a water pan in here for the first 4 or 5 hours. Now that we got the spritz done, we're gonna go ahead and shut the lid, and then we're gonna add another block of wood on here, clean the fire up a little bit, and we'll be good to go. All right, guys, so both of these briskets have been on now for right at about 5.5 hours. They're looking great. I checked on them. I've actually been gone for a couple hours, but luckily enough, this pit runs super efficient, holds temps extremely well, that I was able to leave for a couple hours and come back. And all I had to do is have my wife just add one split for me while I was gone, and she sailed smooth as can be. So we went ahead, got back here, checked on those briskets, gave them a little spritz, and we actually foiled the ends on both briskets, both the point and the flat, just to make sure that they didn't get too dark and they don't get burnt up while they're on there. One thing to note though is these briskets look completely different. All right, guys, so our briskets have been on for just over 9 hours. It's time to take a look, sneak a peek, and see how these things are doing. Let's check them out. Can take a look and we can see we got some pulling up over this brisket over here. But interestingly enough, on our Kansas City style brisket, we have a lot of kind of washed out area up here on the top part. Very interesting. All right, first things first, we got our Kansas City style brisket here. Actually, I can pull this out real quick. That is looking good to me. Go ahead and get this back on the pit and grab the other one. Here's our Texas style brisket. She is looking good. You can see we got some pulling here. So we had a little bit of bark wash up, but it happens. Let's go ahead and get this bad boy wrapped. Foil boat method. So we got that one all foil boated up. Get this probe back in. She's ready for the pit. Both briskets back on. Now we have the Texas style brisket up front, Kansas City style brisket in the back. Get her shut down, get these bad boys finished off. All right guys, so here we are 13 and a half hours in, and one of our briskets appears to be pretty close in temp based on our RFX meat probe. So let's go ahead, instant reap thermometer in there, check it out, see how tender it is, see how close we are to pulling these briskets off, because I'm tired and ready to go to bed. Right here we got our Texas style brisket, Kansas City style brisket. 197, 199. This one's probing nice and tender. 196, 200. Got our Kansas City style now. 186, not sure if you guys can see that. 177, 187. This one has a lot of resistance still. So we're gonna go ahead and get the Texas brisket pulled off, let it sit at ambient temp on the counter for just a minute, actually for probably a half hour or so, let that temp come down into the 170s before we get it tucked away in the warmer. So let's go ahead and pull her off. I wanna show you guys something here. The reason I love the foil boat is right here. Listen to this, see if you can hear it. Listen to that crispy bark. Beautiful. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna let this sit here. Its outside temperatures is about 50 degrees right now. Let this sit here until this temperature internal drops down to about 170. Then we're gonna go ahead and throw a full piece of foil on top of this, throw it in the warmer where it'll rest until it's ready to slice tomorrow. And the reason we're gonna throw foil over the top is trap some of that moisture in and actually soften this bark a little bit more back up. But this bark is exactly why I foil boat. Love it. So let's go ahead. All right, it's 3:30 in the morning here, and I'm hoping this brisket's ready to come off. Let's take a look, see where she's at. That point is super tender and probing at 205 to 207. Still a little bit tight still, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna shut this down for another 15 or 20 minutes and come back and probe it again and see if we got the tenderness that we're looking for. All right, fingers crossed. Let's see how we're probing here now. That is the tenderness that we've been looking for. That's what we were hoping for. So now we're gonna go ahead and get this brisket pulled off so we can get it into the warmer with the other brisket so she can have a long overnight rest. All right guys, so it's almost 4 in the morning. We got both briskets off. We got one already. Our Texas brisket is already resting in the warmer. Our Kansas City brisket is just about to go into the warmer. Almost 4 a.m. I'm exhausted. I'm ready for bed. Let's put this brisket to rest and we'll check it out tomorrow when both of these briskets are ready to get sliced and cut into. That's our Texas style brisket right there. There's 2 pork butts right there for an earlier cook I did on my drum smokers at the same time. Lock her down. We got our warming cabinet set to 149 degrees. We will let them sit there until they are ready to rock. All right guys, the moment of truth. It's the next morning. These briskets have been resting now for about 8 straight hours. And it's time for us to crack into these and see what they're all about. First, we're starting off with our Texas style brisket. Take a look and see how we did. Get this foil boat opened up. That bark looks strong. I love this foil boat. Gives you that perfect combination. The jiggle is good. See how we look. Start with our flat first. Looks good. Check out the point. Tons of moisture. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. Look at that waterfall effect. Let's get it sliced up and see how we did. What? Comes across good. Let's take a look at how we did. Tender, barely holding up on its own weight. Just waiting for that to break apart. Super moist. Good deal. Now it's time to get this all chopped up. guys, so we got our Texas style brisket all sliced and chopped up because these are being used for chopped brisket sandwiches today, an event that we're catering. But you know, now it's time for that official taste test. So let's see how we did. I ain't mad at it. It's good stuff. Good beef, peppered forward, Texas style brisket right there. Can't wait to see how we do with that Kansas City and compare the two side by side. Let's pull that one out next. All right guys, so it's time to get our Kansas City style brisket out of the warmer. It's been resting in there for probably 12, 13 hours. We're gonna go ahead and pull it out, separate the flat from the point. We're gonna put the flat back in the warmer while we cube up our point, toss it in some Kansas City style sauce that I made last night. And then we're gonna actually put it on our Weber Searwood 600 that I got right here behind me. And we're gonna let it go at about 275 degrees, about 45 minutes to an hour. We're just simply looking to tack that sauce up. We're not looking for any additional smoke flavor because we got plenty of smoke last night while it was on the offset. So let's go ahead and pull them out and get to it. All right guys, so we got our Kansas City burn ends here, our Kansas City style brisket that we're gonna turn into some Kansas City style burn ends. So let's go ahead, get this opened up, take a look, see what we're working with. Look at that. She's dark. All right, first things first, we are going to separate this point from the flat. We are just gonna follow the fat seam right here, just like that. Take the flat, we're gonna get that back here where it's gonna sit in its juices. So let's clean up some of the fat, square this off. Don't worry, this meat's not going to waste. It's gonna be used. Some of this is fat, but some of that's still meat. We'll use that when we chop up the brisket. All right, so now that we have our point meat, let's make some cubes. Should have sharpened my knife. Trying to do this nice so we don't get a bunch of ripping. So these are kind of big. That's what we're going for. Look at how squishy that is. Look at how juicy. Looking good. So we're gonna go ahead and throw these ones that we got cubed up already into our pan over here. Some jumbo sized cubes. Gonna add some of this shredded back into the wrap here. Let's get this wrapped back up. We'll slice that in just a minute. All right, we got our burn ends all cubed up. Now we're gonna go in with my homemade pig rub. This is a sweet barbecue rub. I'll put the recipe in the description below if you want to check it out or try it. With a little sprinkle. And then we're gonna take Kansas City style barbecue sauce that I made, which is basically my sweet barbecue sauce mixed with a beef au jus that I made with the brisket and the brisket fat last night. Just mixed it, 3 parts barbecue sauce, 1 part of beef au jus. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in here, just a drizzle. We're not trying to make it swim. Oh, so good. Let's toss that up. There's our Kansas City burn ends before they go on the Weber Searwood 600 pellet smoker. So let's go ahead and get that done. All right, here we go. Running the Searwood at 275 degrees. We're gonna let this roll for at least 45 minutes, maybe even close to an hour. All right guys, so now that we got those burn ends on the smoker, it is time to slice into this and take a look and see how we did. So easy to see, since meat side up, grains running like this, we're gonna slice it just like this, simply because we wanna take a slice. Now I'm not using my brisket slicing knife. I'm using a dull chef's knife. All right, so we got our brisket all chopped up. You can see here, a lot of moisture in that brisket still. This is all flat. We haven't added any sauce to it yet. We still have all of our juice from resting the brisket, which I'm just gonna pour just a little. We are gonna go in with a little bit of that sweet rub. Of course, the wind is gonna pick up right as I'm using the seasoning. A little drizzle of our Kansas City style, or at least our take on a Kansas City style barbecue. Get this all mixed up, incorporated. Okay, we are gonna get this panned up back in the warmer, and we'll bring it back out when those burn ends are ready. Kansas City style sweet chopped brisket for some sandwiches. see you when those burn ends are done. All right, so we just finished up separating our point from our flat. We chopped up our flat to make chopped brisket sandwiches, Kansas City style. We dusted with a little bit of our seasoning, drizzled with a little bit of our KC style barbecue, our own rendition of that. And we chopped up the point, made them into cubes. We gave those a dusting of some seasoning, a little drizzle of some sauce, mixed those all together, got those onto the Weber sear wood running 275 degrees. And we put the chopped brisket portion back in our warming oven where it's sitting at 150 degrees right now. It'll wait in there until these are done and we're ready to serve both. And we're gonna do a taste test side by side, Texas style brisket versus Kansas City style brisket. And I got a few people here to give me their opinion because I'm probably biased because us Texans, we like our salt, pepper, garlic. So let's see what they think. We'll bring it back when these burnt ends are all finished up. All right, guys, the moment we've all been waiting for. Texas style brisket versus Kansas City style brisket. Are we gonna go with sweet or savory? Let's try it out. We got Kylie here, one of the biggest critics I've ever met when it comes to my barbecue. So we're gonna see what she thinks about the differences. We're gonna start her off. Kansas City style burn in. You want a piece, Charlie? There you go. Grab that one. Take a bite.
Hot.
Just came off the smoker. It's going to be a little bit hot.
You like
good?
it?
You like the sweetness?
Yep. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I haven't tried the Kansas City style burn-ins myself yet. So
let's see what you have to say.
yeah, let's see what I think. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. I'm staying true.
Oh, whatever.
Texas all the way, baby. Longhorns. Let's go. All right, guys, so this cook is all wrapped up. It's been a long 36 hours, almost close. We started this cook at about 12:30 yesterday afternoon. That's when we got the smoker fired up. We got both of our briskets on, which actually this cook started the evening before because that's when we trimmed and seasoned our briskets and let them overnight dry brine from there until the next day. But we went about 13 and a half hours on the 250-gallon offset behind me, gave it a nice oak smoke bath, pulled both briskets off late in the night or early in the morning, put them in my warming oven, let the Texas style brisket rest for about 8 hours before we pulled it off. We had to pull it off earlier because we had a catering event this morning at 11 a.m. where that brisket had to be delivered to. So we got it chopped up, but we did some taste testing on that. Came out phenomenal. Flavor was great. Bark was great. Very happy with the way the Texas style brisket came out. Next, we let our Kansas City style brisket sit in the warmer for quite a few more hours, probably 5 or 6 more hours, because that one didn't have to be taken out and cubed into burn ends and chopped into chopped brisket sandwiches until about 5 p.m. in the afternoon for a birthday party. We went ahead and pulled the Kansas City brisket out. We separated the point and the flat. We cubed up that brisket point, sauced it, seasoned it, put it on the Weber 600 and let that go at about 275 degrees for about 45 minutes, cranked it up to 325 degrees for the last 15 or 20 minutes or so, just to really get that burnt look on the outside of those burn ends. We pulled them off, we chopped the flat, and we did a taste test with my family that was here for a birthday party. Unfortunately, my audio didn't work through that, so you can see through some of my clips, we did some taste testing, and here's the surprise to me. Now, I'm a classic Texas style salt and pepper and some garlic powder kind of beef guy myself. My family leans a little bit more sweet with their meats. Nothing wrong with it, that's their preference. So we did a live taste test here and the majority preferred the Kansas City style burn ends over the Texas style slices. However, something to consider is when it came to the chopped brisket, Kansas City style versus Texas style, pretty much everybody agreed the Texas style was the way to go. But when it comes to those Kansas style burn ends, let's be real, they can't be beat. Now I'm Texas classic barbecue through and through. true, but I'll be the first to admit, Kansas City, you know what you're doing when it comes to those burnt ends, because those are legit. So that wraps up this cook. I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment. Let me know what your style is. Do you like sweet meat, sweet beef, or do you prefer that classic Texas style flavor with the savory salt, pepper, garlic? Stay true to the Texas roots. Love to hear from you guys. Put your comment below. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, we'll see you later.